Welcome to Forever Exile, the podcast about whatever we want and sometimes Path of Exile. I'm Justin, aka Tags.
And I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days.
Episode 202. Special edition for the Trials of the Ancestors launch. You
having difficulty with the title?
Well, the reason it made me laugh as I was doing it is because exactly what you wrote in the notes for the title of this is what you wrote in the notes for me for the title for last week's episode. And I copy pasted. And then just as I was about to start writing in the metadata and start posting everything properly, I was like, I don't think this is right. And then I looked at it. And I'm like, nope, right. It's not Trails of the Ancestors launch.
Oh, it is Trails.
Yeah. So I did change it.
I did Trails on the other one too. Oh, that's so funny.
I just changed it myself. I was like, I don't need to check with him on this one because I'm pretty confident that I got the right one. Yeah. But yeah, we are here, episode 202. Big shout out to our patrons. We had a bunch of patrons resub last month. Thank you so much for your support. We love your faces. Patreon gets you access to After Dark. It's the place to be on well, for us, a Friday night, but for you, whatever day of the week, you just want to enjoy some more of us.
That's right.
Yeah, it gets access to After Dark. It's our podcast after the podcast. We just continue to talk about stuff and things and anything.
It's basically nonstop awesome,
etc. It's going to be nonstop for us today because it's league launch. So we're rolling. We're rolling right in. How's your week?
I had a good week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Tell me about it.
I mean, I got to reminisce, Justin. Xbox has had Path of Exile for 6 years. August 24th, 2017.
Nice.
I didn't have a birthday party or anything. It was just it's like not my
hey.
game, but it was just, yay, neat. No, it was good. We got back from my in-laws' place, and in BC, forest fires. That's the other F. Forest fires are everywhere, and their place was not burning down. Nice. So that's always nice. Any listeners out there, though, that are struggling with it? Oh, it's and awful. So many other places. It is. Yeah. Our hearts go out to. Wish we could do more for you than just empty words, but our hearts do go out to you. So hopefully everybody, any listeners out there that are dealing with forest fires are safe, and that loved ones are safe and hopefully healthy as well. So our hearts go out to you. But yeah, how was my week? It was a lot of that, right? We were looking around at forest fires on the different websites that we have for our province, and they're dealt with really, really well. We just have tons of fires, and it was all about that. And then seeing about which other communities are on evacuation alert, or or having their towns squelching. I mean, we have some fires, Justin. There's like Yellowknife, right? Oh, yeah. The whole town of Yellowknife.
He just moved last
year. It's crazy. The entire town of the capital of the Northwest Territories has been evacuated.
Yep.
And there's two fires that are near the border of BC, Alberta, and the Northwest Territories. Mm-hmm. One of them is 550,000 hectares.
Crazy.
That's one's just in BC. That set a record. The other one that's touching all three territorial provinces, 650,000 hectares. Like hectares. Is it hectare? Hectare.
Mm-hmm.
Hectare. What a dumb language. 1 hectare is 10,000 square meters.
Yeah, it's huge.
Like anyway. So our hearts go out to everybody. But I had a good week. I had a safe week. My house is fine.
It's a plus.
So we're good. And we came back safely. We had a good time. Spent 5 days, 4 nights with my in-laws. They're fantastic hosts. We had a great time, and so yeah, good week. How about you?
It was a good week. It was a lot of meetings, but it was fine. What'd I do? Went to the dentist, so that was exciting. And I'm trying to think. We watched Silo. Have you seen that show?
No, is it good? I've heard amazing things.
I liked it. I really liked it. Yeah.
Oh, she's amazing.
Yeah, I really like her. They have a lot of actually good actors in that show.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, it was really well done. I assume setting up for a second season, which should be interesting. But yeah, I love Tim Robbins too, and he's one of the main characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really like him. So cool. Yeah, we watched that, and then I finished the story. I did finish Baldur's Gate. I was like, I have to finish it by Thursday.
Wow, isn't that a huge story?
Monstrous. It is very, very big. But
How'd you finish it?
skills.
Elite hacksaws.
Yeah, no, I did a lot of side missions. I don't even know if I can see how many hours I put into it, but it was a lot. But I was like, I gotta finish it before, the new league. Otherwise, I can't stop mid. Mid.
You could just miss league launch, man.
That's not
go
possible.
With your heart. Just you marry who you want, not who you should.
Go with my heart. 99 hours. So. Yeah.
And did you finish the game the way you wanted to, or
this
did you
was one of the well, yeah, I did for the most part, but this game is very difficult with like making choices and like having just be like, I don't know which one to pick, and I save scum all the time, so I will reload a save if I'm like, nope, didn't like that at all. So, but yeah, it was fun. It's definitely I didn't think I could see myself playing it a second time. But I played this first run through all good, which you know me.
What?
Not easy to do.
No kidding.
Yep.
And you followed through? You didn't just convert partway through to be like, I can't take it, and you just slaughter everyone?
I played as a paladin, and the paladin has rules. Like if you go against your oath that the paladin takes, you actually you can get in trouble for it. So I took the oath of vengeance, so I could still take retribution, but it needed to be deserved. So, I want to play it a second time. There's a like a origin story called The Dark Urge, and
whoa,
I'm gonna play it.
My mind's telling me no.
I'm gonna play it very evil, and I've heard people like to play it and try to resist the darkness that this character has. Like there's a whole new storyline thing that happens, I guess, as you're playing through, where your character just is innately evil. And so people have been like, it's fun to play it and try to resist it. And I was like, no, I am committing. Just as an example, because it's not a spoiler, but within the very first part of the game, when you meet one of your very first companions, his hand is like sticking out of a portal and he's like, somebody help me. And you just see a hand. So my paladin character used a strength roll to pull him out, and he becomes your sorcerer. He's a sorcerer that you can use in your group. This character, one of the very first options was like, you have like a bunch of choices, but one of the top ones was you imagine cutting off his hand or something. And I was like, what do you mean you imagine it? So I clicked the button. Sure enough, I chopped his hand off and he's gone. He's not a companion anymore. And his hand is in my bag. I picked it up for some reason. I guess my character was holding it
interesting.
as a trophy.
So you'll be able to prove something later on.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because you have proof.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's lone wolf territory, man, from the Divinity games.
This would be a really hard game to play, I think, without companions. So I'm trying to figure out which companions, now that I've played through it once, which companions will be fine with me being like, dead. Yeah, it's a really good game.
Pickpocket.
Yep.
Dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really good game. Very, very difficult at the end. But yeah, very tough with choices, but it's one of my most favorite games for sure, but it's big. Like it's a time consuming game. So,
okay.
Yeah. And then I feel like there was something else happened this week, but I think that's the bulk of the week. It was just, I had to work a lot. Like I was, even today with league launch, unfortunately not able to get in as much time as I wanted to, but it is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, just speaking of episode 202, this is hopefully a shorter episode for us because we want to play. So
we do. It's going to be like a 20-minute main episode, 20-minute after dark. It's great.
I was laughing
last week. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, last week was very long. Yeah, you got lots. Go listen to last week's again. Also, please hit that 5-star on Spotify and Apple. We like it. But I was getting my water before we started, and I was laughing at the idea that we do, a league launch. Here's our league launch episode, and we're like, let's keep it short. How do we wrap this up so we can get back to playing? Whereas you got anyone else who creates content for the game right now is like, I'm going to be online for the next 18 hours.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it short, and they're desperately trying to get the stuff going. You know who's actually in a sweet spot when it comes to their content is Kit and Cat Noodle.
Oh yeah,
because it doesn't matter. Like, she has to complete the content so that she gets all the lore tidbits, right? All the sayings, all the dialogues, right? And this is another heist league, right, for her, because she has so many different characters to interact with, right, with all that different dialogue, and you got to complete and be successful, but there's no rush.
But she's sorry, is she, you know, like, what I mean, like primary YouTuber though, or streamer? Because
I my assumption is that the majority of her
content,
I don't know about content, but I guess like her primary content. This is a guess. We haven't asked her,
I don't
of course,
actually know.
But my guess is what I know of her is her YouTube videos, and so. But that's not like, she doesn't have to rush. It's got to be so nice. Like all the other streamers, like, oh, top 10 builds. Oh, do this. Oh, do that. Oh, you know, and they're like desperately trying to be the first to come out with whatever content so they can get the most clicks and all that kind of stuff. And she's just like, I could do it. I'll do it. Like if I put out my videos a month before 3/23, I'm good.
Nobody's competing. So, I mean, I could do the lore, I'm pretty sure. Like, I talk to somebody, I click continue real fast because I was like, let me go fight them.
That's right.
But, yeah. Anyway, so that was my week, and we're now into Trails of the Ancestor.
Trails. Sorry. At least you fixed it before it went out.
Yeah. Always. What do we got? Are we just jumping right into it? We're not really doing much about this week in PoE.
Yeah, let's jump right into it. But just a second, let me make next week's notes template quick so we can drag stuff over.
My kids were gone for a good part of this week. With my wife's parents, and they came back. Well, two of them came back today, and so they knew I had to record, and they were like, ugh. And I'm like, I'm recording for a while because I got to do both episodes. So she took them to the dollar store to do, what did they call it? A 10-second challenge or something. So they convinced Christina to give them a 10-second challenge. So she sent me a video. That's what I was laughing at before we got started, because they take a cart, a little like handheld thing, and they got 10 seconds to put whatever they can in there that they want, and they can get it. And so she sent me the video, but it's really funny because in my head, I saw somebody just like taking all the chocolate bars and all like scooping it all in, right? But you put like an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old in that position, and they just go like, like they grab like 3 things.
Because they want something of everything, right?
Yeah, because
so instead of just like,
oh, gum, because we never get gum. So they grab gum, and then they run over and they're looking in the art supply section. But the store's massive, so in 10 seconds you got to like figure out where you want to start at. But the one of Maya was quite funny because she like got completely just, I don't know what to do. And by the end of it, she had 2 things in her cart, and she's just like, all sad.
Oh, was she sad?
They're just gonna let her go again.
I can't handle sad kids. I had to get my son in trouble last night.
Oh no.
I gave him like, I don't do warnings, right? Like when I say do this, I don't, you know, if I'm like, it's time to be quiet, like lights out, time to be quiet. And if they're not quiet, then, you know, whatever discipline comes.
Spankings.
That's right. With a baseball bat. But I gave a lot of warnings ahead of time. So before anything happens. So last night it was like, all right, Oliver, all right, kids, just a reminder, I need you to focus, getting ready for bed. If I have to remind you how bedtime works, you're not sleeping together, because they get excited for sleeping together. And we let them a few times a week during the summer. I like, there won't be any sleeping together. So if I find that you're distracted and you're not focusing on getting ready for bed, you'll be sleeping on your own. And my poor son lost his mind, didn't even remember, was having such a fun time. I hated interrupting it. And as soon as I said Oliver, he turned around, his shoulders went, and his cry was just so loud. Oh, it was so loud. Anyway, I followed through with it, of course. And today he was like, okay, got my water. I got my ratio of 4. The ratio of 4 is like if they want to bring stuffies to bed or books or whatever, they can have anything, but it has to be 4 things. Can't be more than 4. It's like, okay, I got my water, got my ratio of 4. Okay, I'll see you in bed, Violet. But it was so heartbreaking yesterday. So when you see, like, you said it was Maya that was heartbroken, that sucks, man.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Just kicks you in the feels.
Yep. All right. Well, let's get into some PoE. Sure. Also known as Path.
There's one thing that I wanted to. This looks like it's from YouTube. JR Bulk mentioned on this week or last week's YouTube video, I forget which one, that, and they had a YouTube link, and I don't think I clicked on it.
I think the only change was that.
Oh no, that was a YouTube link to us. Sorry, that was a YouTube link to us. But they said that the ascendancies in Path of Exile 2 are changing.
No, Ruthless. Because Ruthless, you could only get 3 ascendancies. You mentioned that when we were talking with BK. Apparently in 322,
I totally missed that.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, JR Bulk, now you're going to see why my response meant absolutely nothing. Okay, I completely misread that.
You thought it was just related to PoE 2.
I thought JR Bulk, I don't know why I thought that. JR Bulk was, I thought, what they typed, and it's clearly not what they typed. They were correct in what they said, but I was thinking that PoE 2, or I was thinking they wrote that PoE 2 is going from 4 ascendancy nodes to 3 ascendancy nodes when you ascend. I completely misread it. And it was very clear they were talking about Ruthless in 322. And Ruthless in 322 went from 3 ascendancy nodes to 4. But that was, of course, along with all of the changes and a lot of them reductions to the power of certain ascendancy nodes. So sorry for that confusion. And JR, thanks for your patience with my inability to read very clear comments.
Did they respond with just like, huh?
Probably just gave me a thumbs up. And it's probably my thumbs up. I thumbs up all my comments to know if that was like, it's easy for me to see if I've replied to someone or not.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
If I see a comment that doesn't have a thumbs up or down, then I know I haven't replied to it yet.
All right. Well, let's talk about this league launch.
The trails of the ancients.
The ancestors also, or ancients, whatever.
I always get it mixed up. I always think it's the ancients, and I have to think about what it's
now
going
the trails of the ancients.
Trails of the ancients.
Butchered the whole league name.
So we started playing off together. That didn't last long.
Yeah, sorry, that was my fault.
Well, I do think it's your fault because I think you didn't get a work phone call to have to leave me.
Multiple phone calls.
I think you were texting your wife to call you over and over, and then finally you were like, sorry, Ty, I gotta go. It's this. And then you didn't have to play with me and you could level up faster.
No, I was having fun playing with you. I thought you were actually leveling up a little bit faster than I was.
Well, that's because you kept having to go away on work calls and then you catch up, and then I'm 2 levels ahead. But we started playing together. We got to the I think only in the middle of Act 1 before you had to bail. It was in the fire wolf area.
Yeah, just after the prison. Just after the prison.
Yeah, so it was. I think that's right. I was doing Fairgraves in that area by myself, dude. Okay, I have had the best map luck in the past. I remember myself saying in multiple leagues I had the worst luck. Yes.
Okay.
The layout, I had the best layout luck this time around.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere. Like every time I went into an area that had a trial, it was like 4 turns away.
Oh, nice.
And it was there. And so many of them you go only for the trial, right? Especially for the first one, because there's 6 trials you need. I go into the what's the area where Fairgraves is the first time? The sea. It's not a sea.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, obviously the sometimes the waypoint's actually a little bit farther away, but the waypoint was right there. And then on my mini map, I see an orange door, and I'm like, "You've got to be kidding me!" I walk to it. Yeah, it's the ship.
All flame. Wow,
that's right. And then sometimes Fairgraves is actually quite a ways away, but he was right close to the door when I came back out. And so then I went. Unfortunately, the caverns were a little bit far away, but it was like that all the way around. When I go to the docks, and I always hug the right, I go to the docks, it was like 4 turns away. I get the exclamation mark for the thingy thing that I need to give to the lady.
When you bring up the docks, last league,
I'm a lore guy.
Let me tell you about the docks. Did you know the last? I think it was I don't remember if it was our private league or the last league. But in the docks, I entered the docks and I turned right, and it was right there. I've never had it where I could see. And that was
today? Like this?
No. Last league, I think our private league. I've never had it before where you literally I could see the door to the docks and the ribbon. And it's not the ribbon; it's the other thing that you get there. But that is nice when it happens.
It is. Yeah. So anyway, it's some pretty cool stuff happened. Pretty cool stuff. I gotta say, people with controller support were feeling very supported.
Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. How do we go? How do we do this?
Just talk about whatever, man.
All right.
Well, here, let's start. people want to know what we're playing, obviously, because we're like masters at this game.
Why else are you here?
That's right. Everybody wants to play like us. You want? Remember when we did newbie tips?
Yeah.
Okay.
That lasted a long time.
Yeah, 5 episodes. Oh no, I think we started repeating. Anyway, so what are you playing?
My plan is to play Bone Shatter. I'm currently trying to shift over to playing Bone Shatter. I didn't have any time to really think much this league, so I sent Soja a message and I was like, how do you set up your bone? So he sent me a POB, which wasn't super helpful. So I just took that and adjusted it a little bit, but I'm currently...
Way to go, Soja.
Yeah. Thank you for helping me.
What Justin means, yes, that's what Justin means. Thank you, Soja, for your help.
That's a thank you. So I'm going to play Bone Shatter just because it's relatively easy. What are you doing? You and your noises, I tell you.
Shut up. I thought I heard something.
Yeah, it's you just opening a candy.
You know, people don't need to know that I thought I heard a humming from it sounded like a jet, but it sounded really close. So I'm like, maybe my computer's doing something again. So then I just lifted up my headphone just a little bit.
It wasn't even that. Talking. It was the crinkling.
Let the crinkle.
Lozenger.
My chieftain likes his lozengers.
So
on his mountain.
On his mountain. So I'm going Bone Shatter. I will say I'm gonna go Jug. Like, well, I've done my first ascension, so I'm going Jug just because Jug is tanky. But I wish, and I've never really tried, but I just don't think it scales super well into endgame. I really wish Sunder was something I could carry. I love Sunder. It's just it's such a great
just look. Do it anyway.
It's such a great. No, I don't want to be hitting like a noodle, but it just sounds good. It looks good. It was fun. I played with Sunder for literally right until after I ascended. Then I switched over. I've just maybe done one zone with Bone Shatter, but I do really like Sunder. But yeah, that's my current plan is just go Bone Shatter. I'm not sure. Don't totally.
You could make Sunder work.
I don't know how well it scales. Well, okay.
You have to try it, and if it doesn't try, then you just
all that free time. I'll just play another one and do the whole campaign again.
It's the same.
No.
What's different? What would you do differently with your tree and your jug and everything?
Nothing. It would be exactly the same.
You just swap the skillet out and try it out.
I'm trying to finish a goddamn sentence. Now I don't remember what I was going to say. Hold on. Thinking.
You were going to play Sunder. You were going to try it because you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Was it about me crinkling paper?
No. Yeah, I don't know how. We'll see how it goes. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Bone Shatter. I've played it before, but I played it in our private league. So I want to try it in a trade league where I have access to more stuff just to see how it plays. Apparently it scales really well into endgame. That's what Soja says and some other people have said. So we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to trying it out. I have to say this league has taken me a little bit to get into it. I was struggling. Like I was busy with work, but then I was also like choosing to work when I could have.
Oh, I understand. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like after I had sorted out some of the stuff I had to sort out because I got off, sorry. I was dealing with
playing the game. He left playing the game.
Correct. I just found I was dealing with other stuff for work because I'm like, I wasn't feeling right. Something was up with me. I don't know what it was, but once I got back into it for a little bit before we had dinner, I've had a lot of fun. I'm at Act 4 now. So what are you playing?
Which I'm playing as. Hey, I have started as a chieftain before, and I've also started. Well, I guess never mind. For an occultist and elementalist, I have to be a witch. But yes, I'm a witch. I have not ascended, but I'm in Act 3 where the maze and the gardens and stuff.
Gardens. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just got to Siosa. A few of my gems are going to come from Siosa, so I am going to do Siosa, and then though there's not really a point because I'm not getting the sockets.
I can do it for you. I have Siosa unlocked, so I can just get it for you.
I could always just wait until Lily too, because I'm going to have more sockets then. But I'm going to go Necromancer, and I'm doing a zombie build, and my zombie 6 link is technically a double 5 link. I'm throwing skeletons in there as well. So if you find a Val skeleton, shout me a Holodon. I probably won't pay you a transmute because I'm spending them all. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing, and I completely revamped my zombie builds completely. And I think, like, even though I die, I'm just not a fast reaction player. I play quite apathetically. Like, I think I've died 6 times so far, and 5 of them have been because I've been typing in chat, whether it was broadcasting or in the global chat within the game. Which, if you want to join us, Global 2121 is where we all hang out with Forever Exiled, and it's a wonderful time. We have a gay old time.
Yep.
What's that from? Discord. That's Flintstones, right? Yes. That's Flintstones. Of course it is. And so anyway, yeah. So that's what it is. But I've completely revamped the tree, and I spent so much time flipping and flopping on just the last, I don't know if it would be 10 nodes, 7 nodes, whatever it is. I couldn't decide for the life of me for like the last 2 weeks. Well, I guess not 2 weeks. I guess it would have been whenever the actual tree came out. And I was actually planning 322
2
stuff.
days.
Well, no, like
I'm kidding.
I was on the old tree. I was doing this too. Like I was planning 322 on the old tree, not knowing how much it would change or not. And very little changed for me. Which notables were they that were driving me nuts in a good way? Yeah, I'm just bringing it up. Oh, right. So the champion of the cause, that's the aura cluster that's down south, close to the champion. They're not the champion, the duelist, in between the duelist and the marauder. They moved that down, so it's an extra travel node away if you're coming from the north. But other than that, my tree didn't change at all.
Just so everybody knows, Tyler was attempting to sneeze and it did not come.
It was gonna come. It was gonna come,
just
and then it just
and just be like,
I know it's gonna like just mutilate the mic. You're gonna come over and that mic's gonna be loaded with different colors. So anyway, I was strongly debating the reservation cluster that includes Champion of the Cause down south, this was the or Death Attunement, and that's way up north, which gives +1 specters, zombies, and skeletons. And of course,
you traveled all the way down to the bottom. Like, what are you traveling down there for otherwise?
Lots. I really like the amount of armor that's down there is just
a lot. Yeah,
so much of it. Yeah, but for the most part, because there is armor that's halfway up, that's really nice too. I'm missing a couple.
So you travel along the left side of the tree on the way down.
I went down past combat stamina, which is that one. It's the life regen armor. It's a really small cluster of only 4 clusters there. It's right beside Grave Pact, which is that minion cluster in the middle. So I went to combat stamina, and then Heart of the Warrior is that 20% life or 10% life, 20 flat life notable. But I'm going for the prismatic skin cluster, which is all the max resists. And then Soul of Steel, which is more max resists. So eventually I'm going to be at 81% elemental resists.
Cool.
And then maxed in like with the highest enemy level, physical damage mitigation will also be easily capped as well. So anyway, that's the idea. That's what I'm doing. Hoping it works out. But a lot of that max resistant armor is, my level 70 and beyond. So I still got to play like a normal, slightly squishy summoner until then. So.
Cool.
Yeah, but no, so far it's been working out really well. The path that I took on my tree was I went for I just quickly went right on the fast path, just the intelligence node path from the witch to the right quickly. And I quickly got the Grave Intentions and Indomitable Army clusters right off the bat. But that meant, of course, my leveling was a little bit slower throughout Act 1. They didn't die. The zombies didn't die, especially because with skeletons or SRS, having minions recover 5% of life on minion death, it really did keep them alive in the early going. I mean, obviously I had the survivability clusters too, but that was a lot of mitigation. And so I didn't actually have really any damage nodes until the beginning of Act 2. And so it was a little bit slower, but it's starting to work out quite well now. So
cool.
That's where I'm going with that.
That's cool. I'll tell you where your minions did not live is when we did our first trail.
Oh, the trail trial. Yes.
So, okay. I do want to talk about like some more in-depth stuff with regards to what our experience has been with the league. But I also just feel like we have to do this every league. This is Friday. The league has been out for 7 hours. we're recording this now. This will release in 2 days from now. Things we say could change. We could be wrong. It's all right. Just listen, have a good time, realize you're listening to two idiots. But
no, extremely smart people that have never been wrong in their life.
We are right. But yeah, things have changed before. Well, we're in the middle of talking. So, you know, the league launch itself seemed to go good with regards
Super
to
smooth.
like
the queue went down crazy.
Yeah,
I was 250,000th in queue.
So fast.
Yeah, no, it was good.
The launch seemed to go well, and maybe I'll just bring up the stuff I don't like first, or my frustrations, because I know you had some too. Controllers.
You do what you want.
One of them. It was there. Okay, I'm just gonna say, I love GGG. I really love Pathofexile. I just sometimes go like, really? Did anyone try this? Like there were multiple times this league already 7 hours in, and I barely got to play it, where I was like, come on. Like, I get that I'm not a smart PoE player, but I'm a PoE player, and I'm looking at this going like, nobody?
What the?
Yeah, like, so, and it does, I think it all relates to trials, although I will say I've had some issues with lag, weird lag that I've never experienced before with the game. And even
I only get crazy lag in town because of all the dumb MTX.
No, it's weird though. It's not even like this crazy lag. Like, I've had a couple times where I've rubber banded and all of a sudden jumped backwards. Like, my character's all of a sudden, like 3 or 4 seconds backwards in the map. But more annoying than that, and I have not had this happen. I can't think of the last time I've ever had this happen. I'm getting stuck in a leap slam. I'm leap slamming into something that I cannot move my character anymore. I have to leap slam out of. I've not had that happen. I can't think of the last time. Like, I'm leap slamming and somehow getting stuck in some part of the world, like a statue or something. And it's happened to me 3 times already just today, which is
weird.
Just been, a little bit odd.
Wonder what's changed.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I've never experienced that before, and I've had it happen to me now a couple times. So a little bit weird, but I mean, overall, it's been fine. I've gotten some of the worst drops I've had for a league ever. But I am excited to try trials.
I had wicked drops.
I know. Did you?
I had a Wanderlust and a Tear of Purity drop for me. So I got a free, like, early on, I got a Tear of Purity. And so I'm running around with a level 10 Purity of Elements.
I got a gnarled staff.
And then I got Wanderlust boots. Or
That's
no, they're
awesome.
not Wonder, they're Wanderlust. But the immunity to freeze didn't matter because I already had Purity of Elements level 10, but I got the 20% movement speed.
Wow, that is really nice.
So that overconfidence probably killed me as well. In chat, I'm like, I'm invincible.
Type away. So my drops have been great. Well, let's talk about trials in a second, because first let's bring up a couple other things. One,
you do
Guild?
your thing.
What the hell? I mean, I know they
Guild
fixed
was
it.
screwed up, hey?
Yeah,
well, they said they did. I haven't checked with anybody.
I'm back in Guild, and everybody else
thought we kicked them.
Yeah, and then I thought I was kicked because I was out of it too.
You didn't have access, and it was interesting because you could see the Guild stash when you were in town, and then all of a sudden you couldn't see it.
Yep.
And then GGG came out. They tweeted out a thing where it was like a live post, a live
their
feed.
live update thing,
and so that one was fixed relatively early. Hopefully, hey, anybody that's listening, if you're a part of our guild, we saw some questions too. This is a side note. Some questions.
You don't have to be
monthly. No,
that's right.
People were asking if you have to be a patron to be a part of the guild. No, you don't. Just join up, no problem. And if our slots are full, we'll add more slots. So don't worry. Just send us a character name in Discord at.
Yeah.
And what is that sign actually called? It's not called the @ sign. That's what I call it. But what's it called?
At.
There's a fancy name for it because English is dumb. But anyway,
me, Tyler, Talon, or Theta, I think, can all invite to the guild.
And so, anybody can join and be a part. But it was, like, for a while, our 2121, our global was just like, anybody else get kicked from the guild? Was I like MIA for too long? What's going on? We don't kick people.
I don't think we've ever kicked somebody. So
unless you're a douche.
It was funny. They hotfix. Do you want to know my favorite one though on their live updates that I saw?
What?
It is investigating an issue where logging out while you die in the ancestral trial will kill your character for real in hardcore.
Keep it.
People, no. It was actually a bug where you were dying in. If you died in the trials, the character was actually dying in hardcore. Which again, I just gotta go. Like, what was there something weird that these players were doing that caused it to not work? Or I would have thought that would have been tested. It just surprised me, but that one did make me.
Well, you know what though, I could see like if you have a small testing team, if you can't die when you die in the league content, you're probably not going to test the logout.
Well, but I don't think it was just specific to the logout thing though.
But anyway, that is funny.
Mm-hmm.
That hardcore characters could die in the content that you aren't supposed to die in.
Yeah, fixed a bug where it was possible to permanently die in the halls of the dead in hardcore mode, which would suck so bad.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's day one.
Yeah, but you see how far some people can do in day one. Tyler and I are like, we'll see you in Act 2. While people are like hitting red maps.
Good times, eh?
Yeah. So we did some trials today, Tyler and I. We did a couple trials together, and then I did some trials by myself. I don't know if you ever went back and did any more.
I did a few more. I got to say, GGG, your controller support is lacking support. I had no information. The legends weren't updated, so I didn't know how to find the information that I needed when I went somewhere.
You couldn't click on the menu either, right?
I had no. So yeah, that's one of the things, like when you're doing controller support with keyboard and mouse, you're like, okay, well, do I need the mouse for this? Like, am I supposed to highlight? So I'm checking a few things. Eventually I figured it out. You push down on the right analog stick and as a button, and you get all the information you need. But it's like a of information, and it's not even it's not even sized properly. Like, part of the menus are completely cut off. You can't read the top part because it's too long. Other parts, it's like there's other menus that are overlapping with other descriptive menus. Like, it's just, you push right down on right analog stick and you can get some, like, you get a bunch of information because there's so much on the screen, but there's a lot that's covered up. So it was pretty disappointing. And then so in some of those screens don't have in the legend what you're supposed to hit to get your help. So it was pretty frustrating as a controller support person, especially because the first time we went into it is that's my first interaction. That's what I'm most excited for. I'm like, sweet, let's see how this goes. And I'm the one that gets the silver coins to drop. You weren't. So I'm activating it. I'm going into the portal, and I can't tell you what to do.
I had to watch your stream. And also, when we were playing multiplayer, Tyler got the silver coin. So it tells you, I don't know why, but for some reason you have to be in town or your hideout. So Tyler goes to town, uses the coin, gets the portal, and he's like, all right, do you see it? Nope. I'm on his, we're in the same instance of the hometown. We're in a same group and I can't see it. He had to go to it, and then I had to click the little blue teleport button to go to him, which that shouldn't be. You should, if Tyler opens it and we're in a team, both of us should see that portal pop up. It's very weird that we don't. And then, yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with the fact that I don't have any, when we're doing yours, I just wait for you to set it up. But when we entered into there is nothing. Like, Navali talks a little bit, but it's not really walking you through what you should go. Like, we walked around for a little bit and I was like, oh, there's a thing down here. Like, there's a door. And so
it was pretty far away. I was about to, like, I clicked on the well of death or whatever they call it. And then I'm like, okay, so now I'm standing at this well of death. I see my corpse there. And I'm like, okay. I was about to click on go back to the living because I thought that was just like, I don't know, I unlocked something and then I could come back later and there would be something. It was just interesting. But I mean, at the end of the day, now that I know what to do, for the most part, there's still some stuff as a controller support player that is covered. I don't know if that's important information or not. I assume it is, otherwise it wouldn't be written there. But now that I've done a few, I've only won once, but now that I've done a few and I've interacted a little bit with different things, it's interesting. It's interesting. I have fun, but it's, I think what I'm lacking is when I'm in, I don't know, when I'm in the fight, when I'm in the trial, I'm lacking information. Like, I don't know how well my team is doing or how well they are. I don't know how many totems, are they called totems? I'm going to call them totems. I don't know how many totems or pillars. Let's do pillars, because then that's not a skill. I don't know how many pillars there are left on each team. I have no idea what the progress is. If I need to run back and help my team because, you know, there's certain pillars that are in danger or not, or I only have one left. You know, I know there's some audio cues where the bad guys will say, your opponent will say like, and another one down. But I'm fighting. Like, I'm not going to hear that all the time. And I'm like focusing on like, oh, where's the other guy? Is that fighting? Okay, should I bring them over here? Oh no, I got to get away from that stupid wolf thing because I told it to go and attack the pillars or whatever it is. And so I think that's one thing that's helping me actually engage with it a lot. What I've done to help myself try and enjoy it a bit is I'll have one or two defenders. This is how I'm going to start doing it. I think my last one I did this. 2 defenders and then one, whatever they're called, that goes and actually kills the other totems. And then I'm just in the middle being the decoy and the distraction. And
have you noticed they actually kill the totems?
Yep. The one time that funny enough, the only win that I did, I just had all of them go for totems. All 3 of them went for totems and I just stayed in the middle. And by some miracle, they didn't have anybody that was killing my totems fast.
Do you have some way of rezzing your minions now?
No. Yeah, I guess so. When you kill people in the trial, they don't leave corpses. So you have to bring your own corpses with you if you're doing something like a zombie player. But it kind of sucked at the beginning because you don't get desecrate until a quarter of the way through Act 2. So I'm trying to do this. And my zombies are getting
around as a witch.
My zombies
with
are getting mutilated, and I have nothing to res them with. I swear, zombies should not be in Act 1. I know you get them like right off the bat. They shouldn't be available until after desecrate. It's just, it doesn't make sense. So anyway, but I have skeletons. Luckily, I'm not doing a pure zombie build because then I would have been completely pointless. I'd be a bird without wings, but I have skeletons, so I was doing that a little bit. And I as I'm getting used to it, I'm hoping that it's going to be okay. But the only time that I've won so far was a ridiculous strategy of just having all 3 of my people attack their totems. And then I would just stand in the middle and fight. I lost that way as well, but that was the only way I won. So I think it'll be a lot more fun as I get through with it. Right now, the rewards are not worth it at all. I'm looking around and I'm like, okay, 3 chromatics, like none of the rares that are offered. And it's probably relative to where I'm at in the game, right? Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, maybe they don't want to give me something really nice, but I definitely have no motivation to select somebody that, I don't know what sponsor means.
So the sponsors is who you're going to get credit with to go and buy favors from. So if one says 750, one says 500 and 250, if you win that, each of those sponsors, you'll have that much credit with them to go and spend on favor if you win. So when you win, you have a bunch more favor you can go and spend for your next fight.
Is there a way to know which one of those icons represents which person? Like, are those icons also in that list of people that you could choose as an opponent? Because I thought that the sponsor matches I thought who you chose to fight was who you got your sponsor from.
No, they match who they are on the minimap. That being said, so I also only won 1 fight, but I've not won a whole tournament, but I have won 1 fight. When you win the fight and go back out, all the sponsor people are all in that area. Mm-hmm. You can walk around and it will show you above their head how much favor they have for you to spend there.
There's a legend as well that you can bring up, and it just shows you a whole list of who it does and doesn't have favor. You might have to know
where they are, which maybe the more we play it, we'll just get used to where they are. And you can spend the favor there. I agree with you. I actually think the rewards are dog shit. They are just trash for how difficult it is. And I don't have a problem with it being, you have to pick one or the other. You either make the rewards what they are right now and trash, but at least I have a chance to, do it, or you keep it where it's very difficult and the rewards are better. Because right now it's very difficult for garbage rewards. I don't get the correlation between the ramp up from when you win 1 to the next round is really difficult. Like once you win that first round, going into your second round, well, you're not just fighting like 3 guys, now you're fighting 6, and you've maybe had enough favor to buy 1 maybe two other characters to add to it. I have to say too, like I bought items. That is, again, I just don't, it confuses me. Like who didn't?
I don't know how to apply it. I bought a thing that's supposed to increase somebody's health on controller support.
To you. It's on the right hand side. It says equipment.
And then I hit equip, and then it brings me all the way. It's on me? Mm-hmm. I thought I put it on one of the people.
No, but you can buy people with items on them. I don't know if you can move from the equipment to the person, but what irritated me is I buy an item, and what it says in blue writing is lightning thorns. So I'm like, oh, what is lightning thorns? Hold down alt, nothing. There's no information. And I was like, you can't, like, okay, I know thorns. I get what thorns are, but what does that mean? Like if I take lightning damage, or am I doing lightning damage? There was no information about it at all. I couldn't alt on it. There was no way to get any help.
You can't assume in Path of Exile. Assumptions are your worst enemy in this game.
I was really floored that there was no way to see what lightning thorns was when I'm supposed to spend my favor to buy it. I will say I got one tattoo. Okay. And that was fun.
I got 3 chromatics. That's what I chose for my win.
This was fun because I knew I was going to be able to stun. So this gives me fortify, 5% chance to fortify when I stun.
And did you apply it? You did it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I put it on my...
See, that's a confusing thing for me. I saw the fortify one and I'm like, well, fortify is now like, there's 20 stacks of fortification now.
You get full 20 stacks.
No. It doesn't say that?
It doesn't say that, but I did.
Wow.
So 5% chance sexy. When I stun to get a full fortify stack for
get another one.
5 or 6 seconds. Well, I didn't look to see if that one had one of the limits because I know some of the tattoos have limits for how many you can put on. But I think the idea behind the trails is really cool, but I think it's going to be...
You called them trails.
I'm going to keep doing it. Trails of the...
Ancients.
Ancients. I think it's going to be something... So the one thing I will say, I like that you just pick up the silver coins and you can do it whenever you want. I don't have to do it while I'm in the campaign. I don't have to do it even when mapping, right? You just pick it up and you can choose when to go. And in fact, because you're picking up a currency item, which doesn't have a spot in the stash, which is dumb, but because you're picking up that currency item, that silver coin, you can choose to at any point go in and just do a bunch of tournaments, which I like.
Yeah, I do really, really like that. Yeah.
I don't feel
I'd forgotten that I picked some up. Yeah. I had 4 in them and I'm like, sweet. And then I blew them all because I sucked. There's a massive, now I don't know if this is like old school GGG where they would make things too tough and then, half a week later they would, dumb it down a little bit for people. I don't know if it's that, because I've only won the one match and I won 3 chromatics. And when I went to go play again, the rewards weren't that much better. I mean, I guess technically the next tier up, I had fusings available to me and jewelers and I'm like, okay, like, I guess that's better than a chromatic, I guess. But, I'm still looking through the rares and I'm like, no. And like they'd be stuff that I would just vendor instead of equip because I'd rather have the sockets than those mods. But then I'm looking at the tattoos and I'm like, man, I'm a minion player. Like, come on. None of those, like all of those applied directly to me. None of them were beneficial to me as a minion player at all. So I don't know if it's appropriate to say that the rewards are garbage because I've only been at the first, like I haven't beaten anything. I don't know what it's like to beat an entire trial, you know what I mean? And become victorious for the tournament. Maybe the rewards are legit in total once you figure it out. But right now I don't have motivation. And here's the underlying factor, because even if the rewards are garbage all the way through, where am I getting my XP from?
I didn't actually check to see if there was XP. We were talking about that in 2121 and I should have paid attention to that. I didn't watch my XP bar to see what happened as I was going through it. So I don't know if there's, because you and I talked about that, like there was hopefully going to be some reasonable XP reason to be in there. It's not. And when I talk about the reward, I like the idea of it's this progress. Like if I can beat it, then I get favor. I can build up my team for the next one. And I'm trying to win the tournament, because if I lose 2, I'm out. And then the tournament resets and I got to start over and all the favor gets reset. All the items get reset. Everything gets reset.
I like that everything resets. I think that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And it gives you some. And so then I go, okay, well, it's fine. Maybe if the rewards aren't great, because I can try to progress to build up my team and stuff. But currently the ramp up from if you can win the first one to can you win the second one, I can't even imagine what the third one's like, because that 1 to 2 jump is pretty substantial. And I was doing, I think the enemy level was only like 11 and I was 18, and these guys have like Katava HP, like Act 10 Katava, like they have so much health.
They sent out a turtle. I had no hope.
Yeah,
the turtle came out. Did you see a turtle?
I didn't do a turtle, but I did a girl who could heal more than I could damage her. I was on her smashing with Sunder with the Ancient Protector, and her health just sat at like a 10th left, and it would just wiggle. And I was eventually I just got eliminated, but I was like, how are you not? How did I get you down to 10%? And now you're just like, nah.
It's crazy.
But, yeah, I would imagine a turtle's similar.
Well, the turtle they send, it's a massive turtle. It is crazy slow. No hope. No hope. I'm like, it's like Jurassic Park. Shoot her! Shoot her! And I'm like, everything I can at it. I'm like, no, I don't care what's happening around me. I have to kill. Turtle's health barely moves, and it's slowly just going. It destroys totems, man. It like stands there and it goes, and the totem's gone. I'm like, no! And then it moves over to the other totems or pillars, whatever they are. And like it, as soon as the turtle got to my side, the game was done.
I feel like maybe I'm being a little bit unnecessarily harsh, because I do want to kind of reserve having a full opinion until I've played it more. I just feel a little bit frustrated right now with it. But also, we didn't even know how to destroy the totems. There was nothing. Now, first off, we couldn't in Tyler's because we couldn't see the help. But even when I got to do it, because we dropped the coin so I could run it.
Yeah, I dropped one for you. Yeah.
Put the mouse over the eye. All it says is when you're destroying it, you can't do damage, and if you get hit, you'll get stunned. So I was like, okay, so I guess you have to like, maybe when you click it, you start channeling. It literally took me like 3 additional rounds from that point to figure out that I actually have to hold the mouse button down on it. Not just click it and then I'm channeling, and if I get hit, you got to hold the mouse button, then you'll start to channel, and then you got to also time when you let go if enemies are coming around, because it's like a friggin' day and a half stun if you get hit while you're channeling.
It was so long, and for me, there's no heads up. There's nothing that on the pillar that would highlight the pillar and say A, like you know how it would on a chest.
Really?
There was nothing.
Or like a blight.
Yeah, so the first time I went in, I was using SRS and zombies, and I'm like, SRS. And they're just flying around. I'm like, I thought I saw the thing. I watched the Twitch stuff. Like
Tyler's
I was.
Justin, come over here. Can you wreck this totem? And I'm like, no, can't hit it. I don't get it.
I'm like, what's going on? So it was like my second one when Justin was doing it, where they were all fighting in the middle, and I'm going over, and then I could hit A. And finally,
I just was spamming, just like click, 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 trying to see like, my guy's moving. What? And it took me a long time to figure out, hold it down. So my hope is that it will get better.
Got us.
My hope is it will get better, because I like the concept of it.
Yeah,
I think the idea behind it is really cool. But right now, I don't feel like it's. I really, really, really don't like the idea of me spending 500 or 600 favor on an item that I'm just hoping is good, because I don't actually know what it does.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's not cool. I don't like that. Some of them were like they just say the words, you have 20% movement speed and revive 50% faster. I get it. That's right there in the words. But lightning thorns, I understand that somebody could be like, oh, you idiot. Of course, just you apply thorns with lightning. Maybe. I don't know. But
it's nice to know.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that based on a percentage of my health? Is it based like what is that?
What is the thorn
damage based off of? So,
I'm curious what the sponsors like. If somebody has 2 or 3 sponsors, does that mean those people are also in the fight? Like, Are they harder? Is that a harder fight if there's 3 sponsors? I assume so.
I assume so. I don't actually know, but I do know that.
Because I sucked with some against one sponsor.
The only one that I won had 3. And
fancy.
It let me go and buy from 3 different favor people, but I was also nervous because I didn't know like what would happen to that favor if I didn't spend it. But it does carry over as long as you don't lose 2 in a row. So
is it 2 in a row?
No, sorry, 2 in total. Sorry, I shouldn't have said 2 in a row. 2 in total.
Idiot.
So had I known that, then you can get some that are more expensive than what you got in favor. So you can like then on the second one, try to pick fights that have that same sponsor to try and unlock whatever that thing is that you're trying to get. So I like it. I think that's fun. And my favorite part about all of it though is that it's something you can just do on your own time.
Yes.
There's no like, I don't have any fear of like, well, crap, if I don't do this right now, I'm losing out. I could just collect the coins for as long as I want, do mapping, do whatever I want, and then be like, you know what, I'm going to go play around in that thing and maybe get some tattoos, maybe get some items that I can use, blah, blah, blah. But I just felt like if you're getting it during the campaign, either if the rewards are going to be 2 alterations, which I saw that a lot.
Yep.
I should be reasonably able to beat that. Like, that seems a little weird to me that I can't, I get if I'm doing like a 3 alchemy one or something that's, down the road much harder. That makes sense. I get it. That should be a bit of a challenge. But 2 alterations when I'm in like Act 3, I'd like them, but not be angry.
I still want to know what I'm getting XP for. I think that like GGG on the PC version has a massive XP bar. Like that's one of the sexiest things about the whole game is just how big that XP bar is, because that's what people love. They love leveling up. They love getting XP. They hate losing it. I want to know what I'm getting it for. I wish there was something in the descriptions that you had with the help section where it was like, you get XP for, and then there it is. Because, well, I don't know. I want to know. You can't die. They can't die. So do you only get XP if you win? It's
gotta be just at the end. Maybe it's based off winning, or you just get like a base level and maybe you get an increased amount if you win.
So you could spend 5 minutes of Path of Exile time not getting XP? I hope not. But anyway, I'm actually excited for it. I want to ask you, I know we're already hitting an hour and we still want to do After Dark and we also want to play after. So call it quits soon. But what was your strategy when you won your trail trial?
What was my strategy with regards to the favor?
No, like what was your setup? Where did you put stuff?
I don't even know. All I know was I ran straight to the back because I was like, do I just have to kill the one totem? Is it just this one fancy totem? So I went back there, started attacking guys, then broke that one totem and it didn't end. So I was like, okay, there's totems on the mini map, so I must need those totems. So I went around and started breaking those. I didn't have a strategy. I just sat there and sundered and killed people and
what were your people doing?
Down. I had 2 support. No, I had 1 support caster that was following me. I don't know what the rest of them were doing. What I did learn though was to make sure I stopped channeling. So like channel until mobs started to come towards me and then stop. Because if they hit you, that stun is just like, it's so long to be stuck in that stun, which I get it. It has to be there so that you can't just like cheese it and just continuously hold down. But so that was one of the biggest things that helped me was learning to stop channeling so that I can not die. So, but I don't know a good strategy yet.
Okay. Well, I feel bad because it was mostly like a Debbie Downer episode. We were like, I wish, I think it was.
I think it's going to be good.
I do think it's going to be good. Well, no, I think we complained about it the whole time. And then at the end, we're like, but I'm excited for it. And we think it's a positive episode. So I am excited for it. I'm excited to learn about it because of some of the, first impression stuff that I had with controller.
It's a bit annoying.
It was very annoying. I was disappointed because I was actually excited for the temporary content, which I'm not normally excited for. So hopefully that gets clarified. GGG is always very good at within the first half week making a lot of those fixes. Again, by the time Sunday comes out,
they could be
the game's completely different, which is very typical for us as Friday recorders, Sunday releasers. So looking forward to the rest of it. Next week's episode will be awesome because we'll be there. We'll already have been level 100 in Ruthless Hardcore.
Obviously,
solo self-found.
I think I just want to see the portal when you're playing multiplayer. That's a very simple, silly thing. That and info. That's it. That's all I would like. Keep the difficulty. Let it. It's a synthesis idea for me. I'd just be like, listen, Justin, you suck at it right now, so just don't do it. I'm fine with that. But give me info when I'm playing it. That's all. Okay, I think we are going to wrap this up. I want to bring up one thing that has nothing to do with Path of Exile.
Is it my muscles?
Because I remembered it. Yeah, those are buttes. In Baldur's Gate 3, and I have to ask Mio because I didn't ask him if he was playing it or not. There is a fight. Oh, I don't want to do spoilers. There is a fight against a very main bad guy in the game at one point if you choose to fight this person. I was blown away by the music that happened in that fight. because in that fight, the character who's been voicing this model through the whole thing actually sings with another character who's also been voice acting through the whole game. And it's like their conversation about it was.
You spooged your pants, man.
Dude, I just sat there for a while, didn't even move my character. I was like, what is happening? How long does this song go for? Like, what happens if this fight takes me half an hour? And then what happens is it stops, and then there's a score that goes for quite a long time of just the music, and then it comes back in and they do it again. And I was like, it was so cool. I was like, I want to hear Path of Exile characters in a boss fight.
That's right. You guys better be doing this.
It was so cool.
That's cool.
Anyway. All right, let's wrap this up, eh? We're going to do After Dark.
Yeah, Trails of the Ancients, 322.
Trails of the Ancients, 322, episode 202, Forever Exiled, a sometimes Path of Exile podcast, but also we talk about grass and random things. I'm Justin, aka Tags.
Tyler, Wrecker of Days.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us for 202. Patrons will catch you in After Dark. Everybody else, we'll see you next week in 203. Hopefully your Trails of the Ancients has gone well. If you're looking for more information, you can find down below. We got a website, foreverexiled.com, or on Twitter, foreverexiled82. We have a very fun Discord you should be a part of. And my dog's yelling now. What else? Patrons, other ways to support the podcast. You'll find them down below and on our website. Have a great week.
Did you know that Ruthless now gets 4 ascendancy options?
I thought that was PoE 2.
You know?